but this is standard here. If you want a cart, you have to have a coin. You know what I mean? Wait, in America, you don't have to have a coin to pick the cart? Oh, that's crazy. Because I assume people will leave those in the parking lot. Oh no. Today I'll be reacting to Aldi is the best grocery store on earth by Fat Electrician. My friends, this should be an interesting one, specific because Aldi is actually one of my favorite supermarkets here in Portugal. But before I go into that, let me ask you for one thing. If you can leave a like, thank you so much. It's the best way to show support. If you can subscribe, well, in that case, forget about it. You make my day. Have that in consideration. Now, link for the original video in my description. As you guys are aware, I love Nick, tremendous channel, so feel free to show him some support. This is actually his alternative channel, so yeah, let's play it.
Alright, Unhinged Case Studies, Grocery Store Edition.
Oh boy.
Today we're talking about my favorite grocery store. Ladies and gentlemen, Aldi. I'm probably going to refer to it as Aldi's at least 50 times during this video because I'm from Iowa and that's what we call it here. Anyways, first a disclaimer.
Okay, just one thing. I know I post too much, but it's kind of crazy that Aldi is his favorite supermarket. For me, it's not crazy because I don't have a Walmart here or a Costco, but in America you guys have those, so I wonder why he likes Aldi so much.
I'm not affiliated with Aldi in any way, shape, or form. They have not paid me to say anything I am about to say. I am, however, affiliated with today's sponsor, my favorite sporting goods store, Shields. They are legitimately the best sporting goods store that I have ever been to in person. They have over 30 retail locations all across the United States, but if you can't make it to one, they have an even better online store.
By the way, Aldi is Germany, German, right?
I'm gonna have that link down below. Let's get back to the video. Aldi is a grocery store that does things completely different than any other grocery store that I've ever been to, and that is probably because they were founded in Germany in 1946. If you don't know, World War II ended in 1945, and living in Germany right after World War II was straight up not a good time.
Crazy inflation.
Cities and infrastructure had essentially been reduced to rubble during World War II, and the entire country was going through a humongous economic depression to the point that people were doing the whole stereotypical wheelbarrow full of money to buy a loaf of bread thing. Okay, if you're not picking up what I'm putting down, I'm trying to tell you that the founders of Aldi, Carl and Theo Albrecht, are playing entrepreneur on hardcore mode. And obviously they did a good job at it because Aldi is a humongous chain of grocery stores today. So how on earth did these two brothers...
Wait, sorry? The number of Aldi supermarkets in every state. So he's basically everywhere, okay.
They did a good job at it because Aldi is a humongous chain of grocery stores today. So how on earth did these two brothers launch a successful chain of grocery stores in Germany in 1946? They kept it simple. They were goal-oriented. They wanted to make money, and they knew that not everybody had a lot of money to spare, so they needed to sell everything cheap. In order to do that, they said, we're not going to have 50 different flavors from 12 different companies of every type of product. We're just going to have one of everything. Like, instead of having 15 different types of peanut butter, we just have one type of peanut. Have one of everything. Have 50 different flavors.
Oh my god, sorry. When I post this. Wait, sorry. Oh my god, that was crazy. What the hell was that?
They wanted to make money, and they knew that not everybody had a lot of money to spare, so they needed to sell
One
everything
second, my
cheap.
friends.
In order to do that, they said, we're not going to have 50 different flavors from 12 different companies of every type of product. We're just going to have one of everything. Like, instead of having 15 different...
This is real. Why? So this brand Skippy is my favorite one that I tried, but I never tried Jiffy. But Skippy is amazing. I would love to try those because I know it's as big as Skippy or even bigger probably, right? But is this, sorry for a dumb question to be fair, but is this a bit of over exaggeration, right? Or is this normal? No chance you go to your supermarket and you see all of those peanut butters. I mean, even for you, I feel like this is too much. Or no.
types of peanut butter. We just have...
Okay, but that picture is crazy. But let me say another thing. Aldi is exactly what he is describing. He's very practical. And I feel like even Lidl and another big... brand, another big German supermarket is exactly the same.
have one type of peanut butter, and that's how they got their products to be cheap, by focusing their buying power. Now, that's the simple part, but where the true genius comes out is that they realized that they weren't going to make a lot of money per customer, so they had to maximize the amount of customers that they had. In order for that to happen, they realized that they needed customers to get in, get their shit, and get out so that more customers could come in. So they German engineered this entire grocery store to streamline the entire shopping experience to make it as fast as humanly possible.
Okay.
And oh boy, did that work, because in the first 10 years, they went from one grocery store to 300 grocery stores. Then the two brothers, Carl and Theo, got in a huge fight because one of the brothers wanted to have cigarettes in the grocery store and the other brother adamantly was opposed to it. So they decided that they were going to split their massive business completely in half. They were going to have Aldi's North and Aldi's South. They literally just drew a line across Germany, said all these grocery stores are mine, all the
Okay, sorry, I'm just aware of this logo, the Aldi North. Aldi said no chance.
ones down there are yours. Yeah, capitalism and communism are splitting Germany east to west. Aldi's is splitting it north to south. But here's the thing, the brothers didn't have a falling out. They still worked together and they still wanted the other brother to succeed. So they were constantly sharing information with one another, and they would come together to make offers with manufacturers when they were buying so that they could utilize their buying power together. So you have Aldi's North and Aldi's South, basically the same thing. The only real difference is one sells cigarettes and they have a slightly different logo. Now, in America, due to trademark law, you can't have two grocery stores with the same exact name and a slightly different logo. So in America, we have Aldi, and then we have Trader Joe's. But really, it's all just Aldi, and they kept to the principles.
Oh wait, Trader Joe's is actually the difference between Aldi, because Trader Joe's is a brand that I find in Aldi. You know what I mean? Oh, this is so confusing, but Trader Joe's is a store that you guys have. Well, friends, comparing, sorry again for this question, but comparing with, let's say, Walmart is probably a rough one, but comparing with Target, Aldi is quite smaller in America, right? It's probably still popular like we are seeing, but does not compete with those, right? Walmarts and Costco's of this life.
We have Aldi, and then we have Trader Joe's. But really, it's all just Aldi, and they kept to the principles of cheap and fast until modern day, which is something that no other grocery store in America has managed to do. Not only have they not managed to do it, they intentionally do the opposite. Pretty much every other grocery store on the planet has figured out that time equals money, and the more time you spend in their store is the more money they can get out of you. Okay, I know that you've been in one of these gigantic grocery stores, but I'm gonna go ahead and break it down for you anyways, okay? You walk through the door, congratulations, you've just entered capitalism's obesity thunderdome, because everything in this room is pretty much designed to hurt you, more or less. The first thing you're going to notice is that you're there for milk. Well, congratulations. The milk is all the way across the store in the far back corner, and they stuck it there on purpose because they know you need it, and now you have to walk past every fucking aisle in the store to get to it. And pretty much every single aisle there is full of products where they have hired a psychologist to design boxes with pretty colors to trigger your lizard brain to being like, oh my god, I have to have it. They're trying to get you to buy as much shit as humanly possible on your way to get milk, bread, and eggs. And I know what you're thinking.
Okay, to be fair, I feel like this happens quite more in America than here. Even I love to react to Walmart videos, for example. And what he's saying, I also feel that the crazy colors, everything seems to grab your attention. I said this in other video, man, it's difficult to be in shape in America, 100%. I'm already struggling here. In America, I will be obese. 100%. Oh, yeah.
Thinking all those fancy marketing tactics don't work on me.
But I know, self-responsibility, I'm aware of that. But yeah, can we agree that's probably the dark side of capitalism? But even though I love capitalism too much to say that's the dark side, because at the end of the day, we need to be aware of this and have our own self-control. Would you guys agree?
Maybe, but hear me out. Next time you're in there, just do some people watching. You're going to notice that a portion of the population, their brain can't handle going to a modern grocery store. They turn into zombies. They're pushing their cart, veering side to side. They can't even keep it straight as their head's turning to look at all the different pretty colors. There's people straight up just standing still at a wall of cereal like,
oh my god, I do that.
As their brain desperately tries to calculate and process all this information regarding what type of Cheerios they need. There's people standing there with two different types of ranch in each hand, probably made from the same exact factory with the same exact ingredients, but they have different labels on them from different companies, and they don't know which one is going to be better for them. It's like the island of the Lotus Eaters from Greek mythology. They go there for one thing, and then they're stuck there for all of eternity. It's literally purgatory. This is why every other grocery store in America isn't just a grocery store. They also have a coffee shop and a little restaurant restaurant and a florist and a pharmacy and a bank where you can cash your check.
Amazing.
They're trying to get any excuse to get you to come into their store for a second because they know once you set foot in there, you're going to be in there for at least an hour and a half trying to figure out what type of products you need. And if that doesn't convince you that they're trying to trap you in there, checking out in a grocery store today will, okay? The first thing you're gonna notice with your cart full of groceries, there's 30 different lanes. One of them is open and it's the one furthest away from the door. So obviously you're gonna have to spend some time waiting in line because there's only one checkout register open and it moves slower than the DMV in Zootopia. And while you're waiting, you probably couldn't help but notice that there is a mountain of candy on either side of you as they desperately try to make that one last sale. But you avoid temptation and it is now your
This
turn.
is
You're
true.
up
Even
next.
if
You are getting checked out at the grocery store. You're almost out of here. And that's when you realize that this is now turned into an interrogation. Okay, they're going to open up by taunting you. They're going to say something along.
Okay, okay, this video is amazing. And I feel like I got a bit exposed here, but and you guys also got exposed here. Admit, you end up saying something that you guys relate. But yeah, I go to the supermarket a lot, and when I'm about to pay, I look around and there is always thing. Oh, at a discount. I almost miss it. Bam. Damn. Yeah, that's a problem.
Along the lines of, did you find everything you were looking for today, sir? They know you found everything you were looking for because you just stood in line that says I found all the shit I needed, but they're going to go ahead and rub it in your face because they knew it took you forever to figure out which flavor of ranch that you wanted. And just for the record, when I say they're taunting you, I'm not talking about the cashier themselves. They're just doing their job. They're doing what they were told to do. The CEO of the company, on the other hand, is laughing his ass off at you. I was a cashier at a grocery store for 5 years, and in 5 years, 0 people said they didn't find everything they were looking for. Okay, that entire question is just to fuck with you. But this is a portion where they're going to start playing hardball. They want to harvest as much information as possible. It's going to be like, oh, did you have our fucking little super duper saver card where you spend $800 in groceries and we give you like 12 cents off of a gallon of gas? And you're going to be like, no, I don't. Oh, did you want one? No, I don't, because I know for a fact that as soon as I give you my name, my email address, my address, and my phone number, you're going to turn around and sell it to a data broker, and then I'm going to have robots calling my phone for the next 10 fucking years because that's exactly why they asked for that information, so they can turn around and sell it. Because there is a total of 0.
Let's say one thing on my end. Mistakes are made.
Gigantic superstores that are giving away shit for free, okay? Nothing is ever free. If it's free, it's because you're the product. And then because you had the audacity to tell them no, they're going to shame more money out of you. They're going to hit you with the old, did you want to round your total up today for puppies with maggots in their eyes? Really? You're gonna hit me with that with a full line of people behind me? For real? Every time we get all the maggots out of a puppy's eyes, we donate it to an orphanage so they have some type of family. Also, by the way, fuck, fine, okay, I'll take the money, whatever, just give me my groceries, I have to go. Okay, so that's your average grocery store, but Aldi's, on the other hand, is a goddamn masterpiece, okay? Can German engineering win a world war? Absolutely not, but holy fuck can it build a grocery store, because immediately upon approaching Aldi's, you're gonna be like, oh, all the carts are outside. That's fine, I'm gonna go grab one. And as you're walking towards the carts, you see the enormous "We're hiring" banner across the front of the store, and it says that they pay all their employees anywhere between $18.50 and $25 an hour starting rate. So now you're already kind of feeling good because, hey, this company takes care of their employees. Then you get to the shopping
Even here they are famous for that.
carts and you're like, oh shit, you actually have to take a quarter, stick it into this little slot, and unlock it from all the other carts. And at first you're like, oh, that's a really clever idea, because now people are going to put their own carts back so they can keep their quarter. That way they're going to save a bunch of money on labor by not having to have somebody drag carts in from the parking lot all.
Sorry, I'll run that back. But this is standard here. If you want a cart, you have to have a coin. You know what I mean? Eh? Wait. In America, you don't have to have a coin to pick the cart? Oh, that's crazy. Because I assume people will leave those in the parking lot. Oh no. Here, it's rare because some people do it, but they are crazy because people want the coin back. You know what I mean?
Actually have to take a quarter, stick it into this little slot, and unlock it from all the other carts. And at first you're like, oh, that's a really clever idea, because now people are going to put their own carts back so they can keep their quarter. That way they're going to save a bunch of money on labor by not having to have somebody go drag carts in from the parking lot all day long. And that's true, that is part of it. But the other part that you're not thinking about, this is actually an IQ test, you see, because if you're not fucking smart enough to remember to bring a quarter, guess what? you can't really shop here. And that doesn't sound like a big deal, but I'm telling you right now, it's a huge deal, because as soon as you step into Aldi's, you're gonna notice a distinct lack of motherfuckers in the way. Everybody in there is there to get their shit and get out because they have...
My store looks exactly like this one. Exactly the same.
Stuff to do. Speaking of which, as soon as you walk into the store, there's no like grand opening area where you get to like walk down all the other aisles and like weave in and out and do all this bullshit. You walk in, you're in aisle 1. You have to turn left. There's only one way to go. Now all of the traffic is going the same fucking direction. It's engineered to perfection. You walk in the door, you go down aisle 1, you go down aisle 2, you go down aisle 3, you go down aisle 4, and then there's checkout because there's only 4 aisles in Aldi's. It's perfect. Aldi's is 1/4 the size of your average grocery store, and it only stocks about 1,600 items, and your average grocery store stocks over 30,000 items. And at first you're like, well, that doesn't sound very good, but no, it's actually perfect, because guess what? You need Cheerios? They've got Cheerios, but it's only one type of Cheerios. You don't have people standing in the middle of the aisle, clogging up traffic, taking forever. Grab your Cheerios and keep it moving. Generic brands never take...
Okay, just one thing. But this is an amazing point he's making, because sometimes when me and my wife have to go to do our grocery shopping, we think about Aldi, and if we don't have a lot of time, that's where we go. But sometimes when it's a big purchase, you know what I mean, we have to buy food for the month, we don't go there. That's the problem, because there is not a lot of options. So I think this kind of fires back, you know what I mean? But I feel like he's not making a great case for capitalism. And again, I'm just sharing my perspective with you. When something very fast, I go to Aldi, no problem. But something that is a bit more complex, that I really want to buy a lot of stuff, I tend to go to others.
Taking forever.
But I like
Grab your Cheerios and keep it moving. Generic brands never taste as good as a name brand. I mean, sometimes, sure, but like 90% of the time, it's the same exact product made in the same factory, and it just has a different box. And Aldi knows that, and they went out of their way to prove it. And to prove it, they went to the biggest brand snobs on the planet, wine people. You know, the same people that can apparently waft or taste a wine and be able to tell how wet or how dry it was the year that those grapes were harvested. Yeah, Aldi enters wine competitions and wins all the time with their $5 bottle of wine. So now it's time to check out. You get to the checkout lane, everything looks completely normal. It's like every other checkout lane in every other grocery store that you've ever been to, except for it's not. This is not your normal cashier. This is like the NASCAR pit crew of cashiers. This is the fastest person at bringing out groceries you've ever met in your entire life. He's gonna get to your groceries on the little conveyor belt. He's gonna acknowledge that you exist, like, how's it going? And then you're gonna say good, and then you're gonna look down and all your groceries are already back in your cart. And that's when you're gonna be like, oh shit, what is happening right now? And you're gonna realize that he's not standing up like every other grocery store on the planet. He's sitting down in a chair, and you're gonna be like, that's kind of cool. And then in the back of your head, you're gonna be like, wait a minute, why did the grocery store that I worked at for 5 years all through high school make me stand up for absolutely no reason? Hi V, give me an answer. I know what you're gonna say. You're gonna say because sitting down doesn't look professional, okay? Listen to me. That's fucking dumb. Just because you're making money and working doesn't mean you need to be physically uncomfortable for no fucking reason. Okay? Then you're going to look over at your groceries and you're going to be like, oh shit, every single box or every single product has like 5 barcodes on it. That way the cashier doesn't have to search around for a barcode. He can just kind of shit whip it across the laser and it's going to catch it every time. That's how he managed to ring your groceries up at the speed of light. And then the cashier is going to give you your total, and it's literally like half of what you were expecting it was going to be, because apparently the front door at Aldi's is a magical portal that takes you into the past where groceries used to be cheap. So then you grab your cart.
Okay, my friends, anyone watching this went to Aldi recently? If so, do you guys like it? I like it actually, but I had no idea that was this big in America.
Full of groceries, walk off to the side, there's a huge counter with a bunch of boxes. You put your groceries in the boxes, put them in your cart, take that shit out to your car, and you're done. You went through the entire store, you went through every aisle, and got through checkout in literally less than 10 minutes. It's amazing. So yeah, that's Aldi's entire MO. Be fast and be cheap, and it works out amazing. They're the only grocery store in the country that I'm aware of that is just trying to be a grocery store. What do? They sell groceries. They don't have a pharmacist. They don't have a florist. They don't have a bank where you can cash your check. They don't even have a customer service counter, and you can't call them. They don't take phone calls from the public. You can go on their website and they straight up tell you, yeah, we don't take phone calls from the public because our employees' time is too valuable because they're busy selling groceries. And a lot of people probably think that that's horrible customer service, and maybe they're right, but what you're not considering is a lot of people don't always want good customer service, okay? Me, personally, I don't want to be Nick. I don't want to be an individual that needs to be treated special when I'm in the grocery store. I just want to be treated like a number. I want to get through this process as fast as humanly possible so I can get back to doing stuff that I actually care about. And I think a lot of other people feel the exact same way. And I know that because Aldi has been the fastest growing grocery store in the country for years now. And according to the Food Institute, they are ranked the #1 grocery store according to consumers. And you want to know who's number?
Wait, I was not aware of this. Aldi is that popular in America, really? I thought it was more, a bit niche because you guys have Walmart, Target,
Number 2, Trader Joe's, which is also
the same
Aldi.
thing.
They are at first and second place. They are quite literally just competing with themselves to be #1, and I'm pretty sure it's because they're the only ones that are just trying to be a grocery store. As it turns out, when you only care about doing one thing, you end up being pretty good at it. And I think that's the big takeaway from this case study. Aldi's key to success is they figured out the one thing they wanted to do, then they figure out how to do it fast, cheap, and still deliver a good product, and everything else just works out. Meanwhile, all the other grocery stores were too worried about competing with Walmart, and now they're not even really grocery stores anymore. They're just Walmart knockoffs that don't sell video games. So in conclusion, that's how Aldi became the last true grocery store. If you have a company that you want me to talk about next, let me know in the comments down below.
This was
Otherwise,
crazy.
Thanks for watching. Best way to support the channel is go buy some merch over at thefatelectrician.com. Whack bang out.
Oh, this was amazing.
Yeah, I'm an adult. I made it through this entire video without making a joke about all these nuts.
Okay, my friends, this is another one that have been appearing on my feed. Why Chick-fil-A outperforms the competition? Capitalism done right. Should I take a look at this one, my friends? You know what? This is 19 minutes. Leave me the number 19 if you would love me to react to this one, because this also, I don't know a lot about Chick-fil-A, but I mean, Nick's videos are tremendous, so this I believe would be quite amazing to watch. But yeah, thank you so much for staying until the end with me. See you guys in the next one. Bye, my friends.